Gamers, I am proud to say that the previous video did indeed fall where I wanted it to fall in terms of time. It was 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Not bad. I honestly thought for sure that we wouldn't be able to make that time, like I thought it would wind up being like 15 minutes. That was pretty good on my part. When I was editing it, I had to do a little bit of cutting, but overall turned out pretty great. Hopefully this video does too. Because in this video, what we're going to do next is we are going to get ourselves some very important upgrades that are essential to beating this game. First one we're going to shoot for is the high jump boots. Now if you don't know what those are pretty much boots that let you jump high. And there are some pretty high places in this game that are essential for completing it. Such as the Varia suit, which we're going to get next. And that'll pretty much be the goal for this episode. Pretty much besides getting energy tanks and missile tanks and everything. We've already got 3 energy tanks right now, which I think is actually pretty nice. But anyways, where we're gonna go for our high jump boots is none other than Norfair. Now, Norfair is a little bit dangerous, okay? It's a little bit hot down there. There's a lot of lava and there's a lot of enemies that hit pretty hard. We also don't have the Varia suit, but it's not nearly as brutal as Ridley's hideout. These enemies are actually avoidable, whereas in Ridley's hideout, they're just spammed all over creation. However, there is one enemy down there that I'm sure we're all familiar with if you watched the previous series, and that is the seahorses that like to hide in the lava and shoot fireballs. They can be pretty brutal, not because of the fireballs themselves, but because of the knockback on the fireballs. Can be very brutal, they just whip right at you. And yeah, it's not very good when there's a sea of lava right below you and you don't have a Varia suit to protect yourself from that. But we're gonna take our very best swing at that anyway. And after that, we'll get the long beam, by the way, at the end of this episode. We need the Varia suit to get the long beam. That's the first rule here. First challenge of this big challenge we're in. Now, Norfair lies just beyond where we got our only missile tank, just to the right here, and down a little elevator. And here we are. There are a ton of enemies and not a whole lot of room for error. Now all we have left to do is go down and to the left. And here we are. This is the hardest part of this little journey. Those are the infamous little seahorses right there, and these are the infamous platforms you gotta stand on. Luckily we got across that pretty well, but I only have 4 missiles. So I guess we're just gonna have to search around for a little bit, but it's good to know that it is indeed possible to get over there, at least by only taking 1 hit. Alright, now we can finally do this, and it appears that I was wrong about that being the only missile tank. I just remembered we got one in Kraid's hideout, too. But 10 missiles is still nowhere near enough. I would definitely like some more, and luckily Norfair is kind of the place to do that, because there are missile tanks spammed about here, especially above us. Anyways, with these high jump boots, as you can see, we can jump a lot higher now. It's pretty nice. There's actually a jump right on up here, just further up that little passageway, that you can only make with it. It's this one right here. You can just barely do it, so yeah, kind of essential for getting the missile tanks that exist up here. And that's missile tank number 1 acquired. And there's another one, number 2. And you can also bomb this wall, I believe. Yes, you can. Behind here, it should lead us to more missile tanks. And this is yet another copy and pasted section of the map here. That would probably mean that we have the same amount of missile tanks in this section. Looks like we're in a little bit of a situation here. Okay, good, we survived. That would suck if we just died right there. Oh wait, this is actually the area where the ice beam is, the second one. I don't really have a use for that right now, because we already have the ice beam. But maybe when we get the wave beam later, it'll be useful. That would probably mean that the other missile tanks are just above us. Yes, that was right. Here's another one right on over here. And another one. And a third one. Pretty nice. Now, if we go just to the left of the elevator room, there are more missile tanks, I believe 2 in that direction. So we'll definitely grab those before we head out of here, that's for sure. Now, this area should be a little bit easier in terms of enemies. For starters, it is actually mostly ground in there instead of lava. But we still gotta be careful, because there are quite a few hazards in this room right here. And that's another missile tank. I've lost count of them now. I'll maybe put, like, a number on screen right here just to count how many missile tanks we've got. That's not all. We've also got another fake wall right here that will bomb right on through. Right here in this passageway that is also duplicated from the other one. I believe there is just one more right beyond here. And there we go. Very nice. Now that we've got all that, our next stop is the Varia suit, which is a little ways up. It's actually at the highest point in the entire game. It's also probably good that we're leaving this place because we have no energy tanks left, so it's just me and my skill, I guess, if it exists. And now we've successfully escaped this place with only 43 energy to spare. Holy crap, dude. Thank gosh we're in a safer place now, unless something goes horribly wrong in here. But we will also be getting another energy tank. There's one right up in that area. But yeah, that is officially, the first close call of this series. Oh, man. Never mind, guys. This is another close call right here. Alright, we're gonna have to strategize here. We're just balling on 3, now 8 energy. I'm gonna be extra careful here. I'm gonna try not to die. I'm gonna take all the energy we can get. I'm just gonna farm right here, actually. Oh man, that beeping sound, it's very, very intimidating, let me tell you that. We really playing very close to the fire right there. And now we are again, because of my own stupidity. Alright, stupendous. I know we're only like 2 episodes into this series and I could easily re-record all this stuff, like, in the span of like an hour or so. But like, dude, we gotta like, I really want this to do well, this whole run. I think 49 energy should be, okay, let's get one more. No, you know what, never mind. Let's just keep going here, we're gonna power on through. Alright, so pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna go very far up this passageway right here. And that will pretty much take us right up to a little green area that is super high up. And that is where our Varia suit will be at. And I reckon this, yes, this is the door right here. We're gonna be extra careful in this little pipe section because there is a lot of very hard to avoid damage here. Kinda like this guy right on over here who's invincible. Alright, let's get down to this other pipe right here. There we go, we successfully avoided the damage. And then right up here is our fabled piece of armor that we are going to nab. Gotta wait for the blocks to reappear. And there we go. We can get in the door or not. Alright, here we are. Highest point in the entire game. We're gonna break out the missiles except for the last 5 there. Just to take out more enemies here. Don't want to die, that's for sure. But we're actually doing pretty nice now in terms of energy, not gonna lie. And here we are. Now we've got a very fashionable pink suit right here. Looks pretty nice on us, not gonna lie. It also protects us from damage a lot more. And it also means, in the context of this challenge, that we can now finally get the long beam. But I am going to get the energy tank first, that's for sure. I believe that is just a couple screens to our right. And after some unavoidable damage, we found ourselves a missile tank. Very nice. But where is the energy tank? I'm pretty sure there's gotta be one up here, right? I'm not getting this confused with someplace else. I am indeed not getting this confused with someplace else. The energy tank is just right behind this fake wall. Now that we have all of our energy back, it is officially time to go get the long beam. Now, not far from where we started, the room is right here. Pretty nice. That was some really good timing on my part. And right behind this door is our treasure that we should have gotten a long time ago, assuming we were normal. But we're not normal, okay? There we go, and I can officially call this episode done. Very nice right there. So now, we can officially shoot across the screen. It only took us like 2 episodes to get this, you know? Anyways, yeah, if you liked what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the usual things. Hopefully this video also reaches about 10 minutes or so. I want it to fall like right around there. Although I won't be upset if it's like 9 or 8 minutes either. 10 minutes is kind of just what I'm going for with the average time of the videos, so yeah. I'll see you later! We're gonna see if we can take down a boss next episode, potentially. I'm not really sure on that one, though.